Arizona employ Sean Miller?
I mean, the thing with the Sean Miller, DeAndre Ayton being paid $10,000 a month, here's the thing, it's illegal. So that's what it boils down to. Whether you agree with it, disagree with it, however you look at it, it's illegal. And I mean, it's a bad rap for them. So I do not see him coaching a minute of basketball next year.
I just think it's just not surprising at all.
I think it happens a lot. I just don't think they got caught.
Right, and they just happen to get caught this time. Like, they've had a lot of great players come through Arizona the last 10 years. He's the first one they paid that much money to.
Because they had that one guy, Derek Williams, was that his name? That forward that played well in March Madness?
They had Aaron Gordon. They've had a lot of really good players.
Like, if you're going to do that, how are you that dumb to get caught in the first place? Like, you've got to have a set structure up to really kind of, I don't know, money launder that to DeAndre Ayton to where you can't trace it back to Sean Miller. Like, how are they not getting that set to where they don't get caught? I don't understand it. If I'm going to do something illegal like that, I'm not going to get caught. It just
at least put yourself in a position to not get caught.
And they weren't even good last year, were they?
I mean, it's Arizona.
I mean, when they had...
Usually they're like a top couple seed in the tournament.
I don't think they were really anything. But I mean, the thing is, other people are doing it. I mean, they're just not getting caught. And I think that it's just a matter of time until it just starts becoming a thing. Not necessarily where they start paying the players, but like, for instance, Zion, like ESPN had Zion Cam. Like, how can that guy not profit anything when they're using his name for almost a segment?
Right, it's the same thing as Ayton. Ayton has the same impact on Arizona's campus, Arizona's reputation for going there. The fact that he made that it's probably not even good enough, to be honest.
Right.
I think it's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. You can't tell a guy he's not allowed to make money for himself just because he's playing in the NCAA. That's a joke. They don't own him.
Yeah.
The fact that that's put into a contract to where Zion can't himself with his own promotion, that's not even real. Is he an American citizen? Like,
yeah, good.
These NCAA sanctions that come down for this stuff anymore is just, I just don't even think it's worth the time talking about it. It's just
especially
whatever.
When you have Dabo Swinney getting 10 years, $96 million. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be realistic. The people that are on they're getting free room and board, free scholarships. You're living in the old ages, dude. Like,
people think there will be less parity if you have to pay for players. Like, what do you be? Clemson, Bama, Ohio State's get the best players regardless. How, if it's like open to the market, would it make it even hard? Like, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State get all the players anyway.
Couldn't you make an argument that you would be more likely to have college guys stay longer, that they're getting paid? Because they're
exactly. Why would Zion come back?
Yeah, well, he can be the first pick and get however many million a year. Like, if he's getting $10,000 a month, I mean, he may stay another couple years and get a degree.
That's the only reason why they leave. They're not getting paid.
And just this idea the leagues can ban these kids and force them to even go for a year is kind of ridiculous too. And then football, you have to be out of high school for 3 years before you declare for the draft.
Is it 3? I thought it was 2.
3 out of high school. So if you're redshirted as a first year of college, you can technically leave after your sophomore year of eligibility.
Okay.
I think that's what Jameis did.
But yeah, I mean, the 10-year, $96 million. Like, come on, man. Like, I understand that a lot of it goes to the facilities and they go on these trips and all that, but these players are what brings in the revenue. Nick Saban is not what brings in the revenue at Alabama. Don't get me wrong, he coaches the program.
Is there even other coaches that make more than Saban and Sweeney in sports, period?
I can't say that there is.
Like, let alone...
And the only reason is because it's not going to anyone else other than the boosters.
This idea that like there'd be less parity if players got paid, I just think is crazy.
But
the institutions, the facilities, those 3 schools like you mentioned have to offer right now, if it was open, I feel like other schools closer to that like gap, like Michigan, Penn State, etc., would have better chances of landing better recruiting classes.
Yeah. But anyways, Boston and Milwaukee.
Is everybody just satisfied with Clemson, Bama, and Ohio State every year?
pretty much the way it is, the way it's been.
For how many years now? 6, 7?
5 at least.
No, Bam is for as long as I can remember.
The two of them, I'd say it's been back and forth for 4 to 5 years. But Milwaukee, Boston.
The whole thing, like, go ahead.
So, I mean, Chris Middleton with the hard carry on the 3-pointers. So here's my thing. Kyrie only had 9 points on 4 of 18. I think that we could all agree that it's more likely that Kyrie turns it around before Chris Middleton continues carrying like that, correct?
You'd think.
Especially next 2 games at Boston.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but it's just, like, it's hard for me to think that Boston's going to lay an egg.
I'd be very surprised if it's not 3-1 going back to Milwaukee Game 5. For Boston, I think Boston would be up 3-1 going back to Milwaukee.
And, I mean, once again, Jason Tatum, irrelevant as can be.
Is that now? 1-1?
Yeah, it's 1-1. So Jason Tatum played 25 minutes and was 2 of 10 and had 5 points. Had 1 assist.
Do you blame Jason Tatum or do you blame Kyrie there? Because it seems like those guys play better when Kyrie isn't on the floor, as you saw last year.
I blame Jason Tatum.
Tatum's been burgering all playoffs.
All year. See,
when Kyrie's back.
See, that was a strong case that was made was, well, when Kyrie wasn't there, Tatum could play. I mean, come on, dude. You took 10 shots and only made 2. You only had 1 assist. Like, that's not
Hayward
Kyrie's
had
fault.
5. At 31 minutes, Hayward had 5.
But that's the thing, though. When a guy's got the ball all the time, I mean, you're shooting out of rhythm. You have to go back and watch and see when he's taking his shots. Is he in rhythm? Is he just jacking shots? Is he taking good shots? Is he taking bad shots? There's a whole lot of other things that go into it because Kyrie affects the game so much. Like, he's such an impact player. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily Tatum's fault.
I will, to your
I just don't
point.
think Kyrie's going to play that poorly at home.
No.
With 2 huge games. I just don't think Milwaukee winning either of those games.
To your point, Bear, they had excellent ball movement because Rozier was their point guard, and he's not a guy that can just hold the ball like a Kyrie, a KD, a LeBron. I mean, that was a true ball-moving team, and that's where you found the success with Jaylen Brown, Tatum, all those guys.
They played like a team. Whereas, Kyrie has to be ball dominant. The whole offense just changes. It's not the same team anymore, bringing a guy like that onto the playoff level.
Agreed.
You don't want to play around that guy.
Agreed. So let's clap it up for Meach and Walt calling the spread on Golden State and Houston.
It's just a little eerie that it actually was the exact spread, basically. Like, you hate to see that if you actually bet on this shit. Like, that's just not good to see it be that close ever.
How often does that happen? Not very often.
A lot.
It does?
Yeah, believe it or not, it does. And they tried it. Vegas tries to say, well, I mean, based on this, based on that. Dude, you cannot base that off of numbers.
It was 5.5, and the game's 115-1, and I'm pretty sure Golden State had a solid lead, and it just happened to become closer near the end.
I was just going to say that Golden State was up the first quarter, 29-20, and then every quarter after that, Houston pretty much won.
But I think Golden State had a lead mid-fourth, where it was no worry of them not covering, and then Houston in garbage time made it up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what you hate to see when you have money on it.
So Harden got poked in the...
That happens a lot.
True. Harden got poked in the eyes by Draymond last night, similar to LeBron getting poked in the eyes by him last year, and he even said he couldn't see shit.
Yeah, Draymond's just a really clean player, so...
That's what he's known for, just class act.
Yeah. And there, he's just going for the ball, I'm sure.
He'd be great for the Detroit Pistons back in the early 90s, or late 80s.
Yeah, and I see, I would like having a player like that because you have the skill players and you need a tough guy like that. Because don't get me wrong, it's a finesse league, a guard league, shooters league. You still need a bastard, basically. Seriously,
the bastard of the team.
someone that can just do a hard foul like that. Don't get me wrong, you don't want a guy poking another guy in the eyes, but you want someone that can disrupt something like that.
Have you guys seen where they've cut to Steve Kerr on the sideline? It was like reg season this year when Draymond was doing his theatrics and shit. And Steve Kerr's like, God, Draymond's being fucking annoying.
No, I have not.
And I'm just like, imagine, that's what his coach thinks of him. Like, oh my God, dude. He's just watching him on the court makes my eyes bleed sometimes. Watching him cry about everything.
Right. But
if you're Houston, what do you guys say is the way to beat this Golden State team? Like, what do you got to do? What do you game plan? What are you thinking to come into game 3? You're down 0-2. You're going back to home. It's obviously a statement win. What do you guys think is the strat to beat this, greatest team ever?
I mean, the thing is, you can say you can try to double Durant, double whoever. They were 17 of 40 from 3. I mean, they're just going to have to be basically 50% from 3. That's what it's going to come down to, because you can't double Durant, Curry, and Thompson. It's not real. So
yeah, I would say you really just need Durant to turn his ankle.
Seriously, I mean, if you think about it, though, that's what Golden State's relied on the last 4 years, is playing injured teams.
And without Durant, completely different team. You just in series, they need Durant to get hurt.
It sucks to say that.
Poor analysis as that is, they're not beating that team.
No, not in a series.
People don't talk about Golden State's defense enough, man. Like, look at the stats. Golden State's defense is ridiculous. Like, just how good they are in comparison to Houston. Houston's not going to win the game unless they stop, 2 of their 4 superstars. If you want to consider Draymond a superstar, they got to stop at least Steph or Clay. I mean, you can't stop KD. KD's going to get his 30. He could walk on the court. He's getting 30. Just give him 30.
Yep.
But you got to stop Steph and Clay. If you can stop Steph and Clay, you have a fighting chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you can live with Durant's 30. You know what you're getting out of that. With Steph, you never know if he's only scoring 13 or if he's scoring 33. You just don't know. Right. Which is kind of the same with Clay. But to your point on the defense, I mean, they had 10 steals, 5 blocks, forced 18 turnovers. I mean, for a team that's known for shooting their threes, that's really good.
Yeah, and Golden State has to win 1 game at Houston, and that's pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah.
They're in fucking autopilot mode at this point.
And then, like you said, let KD do his thing, stop Curry and Thompson. Curry was 3 of 13 from 3 last night, but he played solid-ass D. And KD, I mean, really wasn't super efficient, 9 of 20, but he still came out with 29, and no one really talked about it.
It's crazy. 9 of 20 for him is looked at as wow. 9 of 20 for any other player that takes the degree of difficulty shots that Durant takes would be phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's just wow, 9 of 20, he just really wasn't hitting his shots.
Right, wasn't getting to his spot.
But right now, let's see.
That series is over.
Yes. Yes.
I'd be surprised if Houston doesn't get swept, but
2-0, I mean, that's just to the Warriors, man. Any other series, it's not. But 2-0, prayers.
They're gonna spell blood, come out, bury him game 3. It doesn't even matter if they win game 4.
And people always, don't get me wrong, the playoff series doesn't start till someone wins a road game. Not true here.
It seems like Houston's already given up, though. Harden's complaining about not being able to see. It just sounds like it's one thing after another.
Well, the first game was all about the refs.
Same old shit with Harden.
Yeah, the first game was about the refs. They missed a million calls, and it's you know what, dude? Everyone, I think I saw the stat that they shot equal number of free throws, give or take a couple, and it's dude, when you broad jump when shooting a 3-pointer, that's not on the defense. They're giving you a spot to land. You're just trying to be deceptive, and I applaud the refs for not calling that bullshit.
Well, it's every year. It's this whole thing where Harden gets a set standard base of calls in the regular season. He gets to the playoff. He's just absolutely mind blown when it's not called the same way every year.
I've said for so long. I fucking hate James Harden's style of play where he relies on the refs so fucking much because he always shoots around 40% and he gets his 10 to 15 free throws a game. And it's like people and Bear Meach that played higher level of ball than I ever did. You can probably attest to this. I hate the thought of, well, it's a skill to draw a foul. He doesn't draw fouls. He plays the system.
I feel like you're not looking. I feel like if you're a great player, you're avoiding contact, like you're trying to score. If it comes, it comes. You react to it, but you don't go out. If you're a player that slashes all the time, you're not seeking out contact at the hoop.
Yeah, you're not trying to initiate contact. You're trying to score the fucking ball.
You know, somebody that shoots 87% from the line and gets there 12, 13 times, gets so many free. Like for him, it's just a no-brainer to do that. But I don't feel like. It's just weird. Like you shouldn't look at it that way. They're like going into a game. You shouldn't look at it like, can I get a bunch of free throws? Can I get to the line a bunch? That's just in the flow of the game.
You know who's really good at doing that though is Dwayne Wade. To go onto that, he could create the contact. He would draw the fouls. He's the pinnacle of doing something like that. James Harden seems like he's a joke. Like to Clay's point, he's deceptive. Whereas, you know, the famous pump fake and then you jump into the guy. That's a foul.
That's different. That's different. Yeah. See, Harden tries to drive to the hole and go up for a layup, and if someone swats it out of his hands before the ball goes up, he flares his arms up. Whereas Wade, like, he'll fucking make you go up with his pump fake, and then he'll lean into you, and it's like,
right.
If you leave your feet, that's on you.
And Wade tries to finish through the foul, whereas Harden is always just looking for the call, doesn't continue the play a lot of the times through the foul, or the foul that he thinks should be called. Wade always tries to finish through the foul and not trying to embellish the slightest amount of contact.
I just am going to hate to see the people later on, maybe 5 years down the road, try to compare James Harden to a Dwayne Wade because of how incredible, well, quote-unquote incredible, James Harden plays in the regular season. He's nothing in the playoffs. I can just foresee 5 years from now people are talking about James Harden, one of the best shooting guards to ever live. Like, that's going to bug me.
Yeah, because they see all, like, this season right here where he shot who knows how many times and had, 40 points against every team, yada, yada, and it's like, and don't get me wrong, you can bring up what's he doing in the playoffs, but it's the way he does it is what pisses me off. Like, if you have a guy that literally holds the ball for 10 to 15 seconds of possession, yeah, he should probably be scoring at least 25 points a game. If not, why is he holding the ball that long?
He's ass.
Yeah, I hate how Houston plays their whole side around him too. Yeah.
I will say that losing Trevor Ariza really hurt them as far as having a perimeter defender.
Oh yeah, great role player.
Yeah. I mean, that was a guy that was just kind of a tough guy that could get in the opponent's head. Not to Draymond Green's level, but a guy that you just want to have on your team that you hate to play against.
Yeah. All right, how about this? Blazers Nuggets, the thing that's going on right now. What do you guys think is going to win that series in how many games?
Portland in 6. Denver is frauds. They're regular season guys to me. It's going to come down to Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum taking over.
Gotta put some respect on Jokic.
I was about to say I'm big on Jokic, but I hear what you're saying about the difference in playoffs versus they're a nice team, but are they beating Portland in a series? Who knows? If Portland's game 2 on the road, that's looking tough for Denver.
Yeah, Jamal Murray to me is a fraud. No, seriously, he can get your 20 to 30 on random nights in the regular season, but to me, this guy isn't anything that's going to even compete with CJ or Lillard. I mean,
the thing is, CJ and Lillard aren't even going on tonight, and they're winning by double digits on the road.
By 15.
That's not a good sign for Denver. That's not a good sign for Denver.
And Denver's one of the tougher places to play, and not just because, not crowd related, but I mean, obviously Denver, Mile High, yada yada. It's just a tough place to play in.
I'm going to say 7, just to be that guy. But I honestly think that they can, because I mean, Jokic just last night put up LeBron numbers, 37, 9, and 6. I mean, that's just, and he's the center. He's supposed to be the big guy. Like, what other guy is doing that? He's just an absolute unit on the team. I think without him,
as a center, maybe the only other person I could think of is Cousins, but he's not doing that with the Warriors. Too much ball. I mean, not enough ball. Not enough ball.
To a degree, back in the day, Mark.
But yeah, up 15, 8 minutes ago in the third, and like you said, Lillard and McCollum are quiet right now. I mean, Lillard's done a lot more this third quarter. He has 13 now on 5 of 11.
Yeah.
But Paul Millsap, like, that was supposed to be like a big trade coming from Atlanta to here. Like, who the fuck is Paul Millsap?
Bro, don't disrespect Paul Millsap. Don't disrespect Paul Millsap.
Paul is who we thought he was.
They are who we thought they were.
Paul's exactly who we thought he was.
Millsap is going to do his thing, no matter what. Millsap's nasty. I like Millsap. I like saying his name, too. Millsap. It's funny.
But yeah, I mean that's really all that's happening. Yeah, that's really all that's happening with that.
Like, I don't know.
So I mean MMA. We were going to talk about the Lesnar legacy, and we were chatting about it earlier before we started recording. Bear, you brought up about him being tested, not testing positive, but he was tested by USADA.
Yeah, I read an article from USA Today basically saying that weeks outside of his official retirement, whenever he announced it, they just decided to post he's been tested 9 times over this year, I think. Don't quote me on that. I think I have my sources right, but I thought that's what I read. But this guy's getting tested left and right. It just seems he's just trying to retire for his name.
You're breaking up like a whore,
clearly
Jesus.
Clearly he's been on steroids. That guy's a steroid machine.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Last time he fought.
But
no way you get that big.
And he fucked the guy up ground and pound for like 3 rounds and he popped after the fight. And it's fine, like they're trying to bring him back.
So Wes, you'd have some pretty good insight on this. What do you make of the Brock Lesnar legacy?
His leg, like, what do you mean? He beat an over-the-hill Randy Couture in a blessed opportunity. Should have never been fighting for the title. Like, that was back before.
Only because of his name. Only because of his name.
Too, they don't really give a shit about rankings. They just do whatever. But, yeah, he just got the title fight on his name. Got absolutely fucked up by Alistair Overeem and fucked up maybe even harder by Cain Velasquez. He's just a name.
Well, let's rewind the clock. I mean,
Frank's going to come back after fucking how many years? 5 years without fighting-ish and get a title shot?
Well, I mean, rewind the clock. His first UFC fight against Frank Mir, he was bodying him and then was just clearly outclassed by a professional fighter and just got caught because, I mean, he wasn't skilled enough. He was just a big body guy that could go in there, pound you and lay on you, and that's what he made a career out of.
Steroids. And luckily, the next time he fought Frank, he just got a hold of him.
Yeah, and that's all he can do. He can just get on you. I mean, not like a Khabib. Khabib's way more technical.
Even Shane Carwin was murking him, and he just, luckily choked him out.
That fight should have been called in Carwin's favor.
But, he got brutally KO'd twice. Granted, everybody else, he always say, too, he had the diverticulitis going on, whatever the fuck that shit is.
Wasn't it some stomach issue?
Everything, but you can't just ignore those KOs, and he's juicing half the time. I just don't know how he comes back after 5 years, gets a title shot.
So it's funny you mentioned the juicing. When you walk around at probably 280, would you say?
Lesnar 290.
Okay, and you're juicing and you're cutting down to 265. That's a lot different than the John Jones supposedly